My name is Raymond Baccari. I'm originally from Northern Virginia. Just graduated from my master's program out in Western North Carolina. I moved to Philadelphia about 7 months ago. I have a fine art background. I'm a sculptor. Yeah, I just really like to make stuff. I dabble in a little bit of furniture making. I make, like I said before, sculpture, and that takes the form of a lot of sound-based objects. So that might be gramophone horns or clay or porcelain slip-cast vinyl records. I even turn rocks into microphones. I sketch and design at least a prototype of what I'm going to try and do, and then a lot of it is play and experimentation. So a lot of iterations, a lot of failed attempts, a lot of just kind of figuring it out until I get to the end result, which is hopefully something that works in the way that I wanted it to. I get my inspiration from a lot of different things. I'm not a musician, but I'm a huge enthusiast. So a lot of it comes from music, and then from there, just sort of like the sounds around us that are generally unappreciated or unnoticed, right? There's these weird noises that we all enjoy that we don't realize necessarily. That coupled with a lot of functional furniture design or utilitarian design of speakers and horns and turntables and hi-fi furniture and stuff like that. As a sculptor, it's really expensive to produce work, especially considering all the equipment that you need. Having a place like NextFab really sort of reduces my overhead for making work, and having the space to produce stuff and the equipment to produce stuff is really helpful and kind of a leap forward in my ability to produce art and objects. The thing I love about NextFab is they're very community minded, and they have had great suggestions or have connected me with people almost immediately in terms of people to collaborate with, or people that I might think is interesting, or me potentially as a resource to other people. So that's really nice and refreshing being so new. What's next is to be open to opportunities as they come. People can find me here at the North Philly NextFab location, but also I have an Instagram and a website. That's my name, Ray_Baccari for Instagram, and raybaccari.com for my website to see some of my work.
My name is Kristi Habedanck, and I'm originally from California. I've been a member here at NextFab for between 2 and 3 years. What inspired me was a teacher that I had at the first kind of jewelry metalsmithing class that I took. I don't know what she got from me, but she asked me one time, "Kristi, have you ever heard of Cuttlebone casting?" I'm like, "No. Have I ever heard of a Cuttlebone? No." She said, "Well, why don't you look it up on the web?" And I did, and got kind of exposed to it. And the next thing I knew, I was at a pet store looking for Cuttlebones, because this is something a lot of people know what a Cuttlebone is, because if they have a bird like a parakeet, this is something they put into the bird cage, and the bird pecks at it, and it's like there's a lot of like minerals and that, I don't know, I guess is good for the bird. So I went to a pet store, bought a couple Cuttlebones, tried to follow, you know, what was happening in these YouTube videos, then went back to class, tried it, and here I am. Like probably 4 or 5 years later. I kind of never tire of doing Cuttlebone casting. What I love about NextFab is a multi-shop environment, and not only can I use the jewelry studio, I can use the wood shop, I can use the metal shop, I can use the textile shop. Back when I first started coming here, my goal was to find a more inexpensive studio space that I could come to, you know, multiple times during the month. And, you know, NextFab, like anybody I tell about NextFab, this is like the best deal in town, because there's a wood shop, there's a metal shop, there's a textile studio, there's printing, you know, 3D stuff, and I get to use all of that. I'm continuing to do Cuttlebone casting, like this. Both of these rings are Cuttlebone castings, and you know, you can see that there's just a variety of shapes that you can carve into this soft material and then pour and then finish. So these are both ring examples. I'm kind of right now focusing on this. This is a single piece of silver, and this top part is actually the leftover that ends up in the funnel. And it was just by chance I was pouring a ring and the leftover looked interesting, and I decided to finish it, and there you have it.